The Mystara project is proud to present Part 8 of the Law of Mystara series. In this video we cover the years BC 2999 to BC 2501, marking a return to the Stone Age, after the Great Rain of Fire cataclysm. Climate changes see former Arctic and Antarctic regions warm up over the next 500 years to BC 2500. This mainly occurs in northern Zixel, western Brune, and the Vulcania Peninsula. In southeast Brune, the ice first begins to melt in what is now the Sunlit Sea, before receding in the present-day south coastal lands, then Darrakin. The more northerly lands remained under ice during this period. Protonithia was not covered in ice due to gates to the plane of fire heating it. The Malfegi swamp and lands to the west also never froze. In the aftermath of the Great Rain of Fire, the former Oltec forests east of the Black Mountains were destroyed by a series of fires, extreme winds, torrential rains, and drought. New climatic patterns drastically reduced rainfall in the region. The Great Waste, comprising the Sind Desert and the Barren Plain, was formed. Small animals moved into the periphery of the Great Waste, followed by herbivores, antelope, two-humped camels from the Black Mountains foothills and small wild horses. Following these herbivores came predators: lions, wolves, and bugbears. Urduk nomads, of Neither descent, also entered the region from the Midlands to the north to hunt the herbivores, sometime between BC 3000 and BC 2250. In northeastern Devania, sometime between BC 3000 and BC 1500, a cat named Barstay fell in love with her master, Qumran, an Oltec shaman of Ka. Barstay acted on many occasions to serve and protect Qumran, often supporting Ka's cause. Ka rewarded Barstay by transforming her into a young human, so she could marry Qumran. One day, Ka sent a rat scurrying across Qumran's sacred cave. Barstay forgot herself, chased it, and gruesomely dispatched it. Ka was disappointed and wanted to turn her back into a cat, as she could not behave as a human. But a herald of Ka pointed out that would be unfair to Qumran. As a compromise, Ka transformed both Barstay and Qumran into cat-headed humanoids, the first Rakasta. The couple produced many offspring, being of the giant lion-like cave Rakasta breed with Qumran's DNA, and the giant tiger-like Rakastodon Fatalis breed with Barstay's DNA. The two breeds did not get along, with the cave Rakasta forming prides against the more solitary Rakastodon predators. Decades after becoming a Rakasta, Qumran died. Ka raised Qumran 9 times so he could continue to serve him, before finally allowing him to rest in peace. Barstay was inconsolable, so Ka allowed her to become his servant on his home plane. Ka was pleased by the number of offspring produced by Barstay and decided to transform some great cats into Rakasta. Sometime between BC 3000 and BC 600, a Neither huntress of the jungle coast, Dialana, displayed heroic willpower that caught the attention of Korotiku. Korotiku sponsored her on the path of the epic hero. She successfully completed a quest to recover a lost artifact of the Sphere of Thought. Then she permanently destroyed an entropic artifact, possibly created by Demogorgon, Bacraeus, Thanatos, Arik, the father of demons or Nyx. She then trained a female warrior to succeed her as tribal warleader, once she reached 12th level. While she was training her successor, she managed to find and hire a wizard to forge a magical spear for her to wield. She wielded the spear on her adventures until it got a legendary reputation and was called Stonesplitter. She then spent 5 years solving the puzzle of how to split the unbreakable boulder, Dovrishte. When she succeeded, she passed Stonesplitter to her successor and became the immortal patroness of will. At the time, she was the fastest human to complete the path to immortality. Sometime between BC 2999 and BC 1262 was a period referred to by the Kari-Mari as the Time of Elephants. It brought to a close the Time of Lightning. The period began after the Kari-Mari warrior, Nyachui, rescued a baby elephant, Abo, from a tiger attack. Nyachui and Abo became fast friends. Abo taught Nyachui how to capture, befriend, and train elephants. After training elephants, the Kari-Mari eventually applied the same principles to training triceratops. In Felmont BC 2997, The inaugural Centurial Red Dragon Conclave was held at the summit of Mont de Glace in the frozen highlands. All red dragons were instinctively drawn to this conclave to measure their hordes. In Imont, BC 2995, the inaugural Centurial Gold Dragon Conclave was held in an enchanted valley in the Wormsteeth Mountains of Norvold. In Swiftmont, BC 2993, the inaugural Centurial Blue Dragon Conclave was held in the middle of the Eruption Basin in Devania. Not long after the Great Rain of Fire, the Nether magic user of Northern Brune, Jaya, attained immortality on the path of the polymath in the Sphere of Matter, sponsored by Terra. She had just reached 12th level as a magic user thief druid Nixie polymath solo adventurer. She left a 100-foot-tall biolith as her monument known as Jaya's Spire. In Imont, BC 2949, the inaugural Centurial Black Dragon Conclave was held at the center of the Amalur lowlands in northern Devania. In Yarthmont, BC 2946, the inaugural Centurial Green Dragon Conclave was held at the center of the eastern jungle coast of northeastern Devania. In Fairmont, BC 2914, the inaugural Centurial White Dragon Conclave was held at the center of the Ice Spur in Hyboria. In BC 2900, the immortal Garrel Glitterlode created the Gnomish race. A colony of ice gnomes were located at the South Pole. Earth gnome colonies were placed in the mountains of Brune, especially in the central Ultan Tepes and also possibly in the Black Mountains and the Endworld Spine. The ice gnomes migrated from the South Pole to the Fire Bay coast, soon afterwards. Sometime between BC 2900 and BC 900, greater Rakasta of the Meghallar-Kimata Plains evolve into Karakasta. They compete for hunting grounds with other Rakasta breeds, namely the Simbasta, Pardasta, and Masongo. In 2800 BC, the sea froze over the Comeback Inn. Over the next 800 years the inn gradually moved by glacier to what will become the Broken Lands. The outer world Azkans had shattered the Oltecs by this stage. The pure Oltec race became extinct. Some Azkans survived in the caves of a plateau to the east of the Great Waste. A few entered deeper caverns and eventually founded a temple to Otzit-Teotl under the Broken Lands. In Grunland, there was dissent between the status quo technologists and the challenging view of the returnists, who rejected technology and wished to return to the pre-Blackmore way of the forest. The returnists, led by Ilsundal the Wise, decided to migrate northwest toward Protopolitan in search of their brethren who colonized Brune in the Blackmore region. Paulodon Medita, assistant relic keeper, secretly took a fragment of the Pearl of Power before joining Ilsundal's migration. Sometime between BC 2800 and BC 2100, a tribe of Neanderthals moved from their Ultan Tepe mountain caves into what will become Western Nithia. They encountered a unique creature, Zargan, and mistook it for an immortal. They built a temple to the creature and provided it with food. Humans start encroaching on halfling lands in the upper Kenaran River Valley of central Devania. The Hin migrate west from Kenaran, along the southern coast of the Adakian Sound in Brassel. By BC 2700, Ilsundal's migration had reached what is now called the Palatan Shield Forest. By 2600 BC, Ilsundal's elves had reached the eastern Isondian Desert in central Brassel. This concludes our look at the return to the Stone Age period of Mystara's history, a time of regression, new female immortals and demi-human migrations.